built Hokuo? The boys, right? You know, the usual suspects, right? So was that smart or was that lucky? Because I seem to remember when they said they were going to build that building and sell those units for, 600,000 each, everybody said, you guys are crazy. That's too expensive. Remember that? You know, we all should have bought one of those, right? And the point is they were good to go, so they were the first building. You know, if you're a lure, then you have more hard work. But I don't know, a lure could be the first building of the next cycle for all I know. So I'm just saying, the point here is that somewhere in between now and the 20-teens, not enough is going to get lined up to be built. And as demand slowly comes back, you might not see it right away in the pricing. You're seeing it in the volumes, and you know you're going to be originating. It's good you're sticking with the new stuff, right? Because when the flash in the pan on the refis, I mean, it's like serial refiing at this point, right? Sometime in the next couple of years, all of this is going to sort itself out. So let's think through the preconditions. I think Tom mentioned earlier, you know, if you look back at the 90s, there was way more inventory flapping in the breeze. This is the number of months of inventory remaining. Honolulu Board publishes this. Like today, there's like 6 months. Back then, there's 24 months of inventory remaining. You know what I mean? You would have to shut down the industry, wait 2 years to sell what was out there. Okay, so this is not that, okay? Whenever somebody tells you, oh, it's just like the 90s, like, no, it's not. Okay, it's totally not like the 90s. That's a technical phrase. It's totally not. So that's existing. That's the existing inventory. What about production? If you look at production, the number of units authorized by building permit as in proportion to the existing housing stock, new units in the numerator, existing units in the denominator. That's the savings rate, right? The investment to capital ratio. That's it. We used to build 6% of the existing stock, you know, and then we thought that like groovy environmental chick was somebody we want to hook up with, so we all passed the land use law and all this other stuff. And so now we build, remember the 70s, right? Ooh, I'm green, whatever. And now, I forgot there's media in the room, so I'll slow down again. Now we build 1% of these, we don't even build 1% of the existing housing stock. The population growth rate is 1%, which means we're not endowing the newborn with a house of their own. Think about that for a second. Okay, so the existing inventory is not like the 90s, and the production, that's ridiculous. Even the last housing boom was not a housing boom, right? 2% of the housing stock, woohoo, scary. And you would see all these, you know, in the paper, right, every time. Hey, bro, 10,000 homes. Yeah, as if, maybe. 10,000 homes is nothing, right? Try 14,000 just on Oahu. That was 1974. Okay, so what we build today is chomp change compared to what used to be. And because we put the stuff in the 70s to control growth, we're at a low end of the range of variation we've seen over the last 25 years, right? We put all the stuff in the 70s. That was the 70s, okay? And now you get to go in whatever the regulatory bandwidth is. It's not like people make up the numbers. It's just this is the way it turns out. The upper limit is about 10,000 units a year, and the lower limit is whatever that is. I don't even know what that is, but it's less than 10,000. It's like 3,500. And here are the annual data, just in case. So let me put it, can I beat you over the head enough with this? The number of housing units authorized by building permit in 2009 was less than at any time in the entire 70 years for which I have data, except for World War II, and they had an excuse. So there's not a production glut, right? The overhang, whatever, on the inventory side is small-ish.